What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Comic Solution coming at you live once again. And today we are reviewing the latest installment of the DC Universe, which is Justice League by Zack Snyder, the director. And this was an interesting movie. My take on it was that I was pleasantly surprised. It had a lot to offer. It was something that I was not expecting a whole lot out of, although I was actually honestly excited about it. I did not think that it would be, a showstopper. I didn't think it would be the greatest film based on what I've seen from Zack Snyder previously. However, I was pleasantly surprised, and I thought it brought an interesting mix of characters together. I really enjoyed them more than I thought I would. Cyborg was an interesting character. The Flash, Joss Whedon, really brought a lot to the movie. Wonder Woman, of course, is beautiful as always. Batman, Ben Affleck, he was okay. We'll get more into his characterization in the spoiler segment. And then Aquaman was badass. Finally, for the first time, I got to see Aquaman portrayed in a film by an actual person in real life. A live action film, that is. And he was totally freaking cool. Long-haired, whiskey-drinking, rock and rollin' badass. And those of you returning to the channel, you already know the spoiler-free half of my film reviews work by showing the logo of the movie, which in this case will be a Justice League logo, will be on the left side of the screen. When I get into the spoilers, you will see it rotate to the right side of the screen. So as long as you see the logo on the left side, you know that it is spoiler-free. Okay, so let's get back into it. If you were a fan of the Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman movies, chances are you will like this. If you were not a fan of any of those movies, you probably won't like this. I think that there's a lot of similarities of those movies with this movie. That being said, Wonder Woman was a good movie. I was really hoping they would build upon that. It was their best movie. It was not directed by Zack Snyder. That's really saying kind of part of the issue, right? Well, it did build upon that. The movie starts out with Wonder Woman in kind of a bank robbery heist scene, kicking ass, hands on. She's all over the place. She's fighting people. She's ricocheting bullets off of her bracelets, right? And I can't say that I loved it as far as that part. Then again, there's the slower parts of the movie. We kind of see things are bad. Okay, well, I'll just say it. Superman's dead. That's how it starts. If you haven't seen Batman vs. Superman, well, this is not really a spoiler because it's how the movie starts. In this movie, Superman's dead. And all the heroes are kind of upset about it. It happens right after that. And they're trying to do what they can. They do what they could to stop the criminals, the bad things going on. But things are happening and things are not all good. So you see Wonder Woman step up. You see a couple other things start to happen. Cyborg's character starts evolving. He's not necessarily a hero at this point. He's wrestling with his own identity, the whole cyborg side of him. Is he a man? Is he an android? Can he control his body? Can he control his thoughts? He's kind of a conflicted person at that point. You see that start to happen. He gains his power and he struggles with learning how to use it. Aquaman comes into the character and has a little exchange with Batman. He's a total badass. Like I said, he answers to nobody, and he does what he does. He rules the sea, rules the kingdom of the sea, and just does his thing very well. My personal favorite character, as I believe probably almost everyone's favorite character, maybe not actually, with Wonder Woman and some other famous key characters. My favorite in this movie is the Flash. I had no hope, no expectations for the Flash to be any good in this movie. I thought the Flash was kind of a boring character before I watched this movie. Joss Whedon nailed it. He had great jokes, made me laugh out loud. He was hilarious. Every great joke he made was right on. He makes a joke with Batman. You didn't know who he is. Is he gonna kill him? And he's, you know, he doesn't understand how people work because he's such a nerd. What is brunch? What are people talking about when they go to brunch? And it's just, he's a funny little nerdy dude, and I relate and love it to him. I love him because, hell, that's who I am too. Shit. Oh man. So overall, the movie was great. Wonder Woman, hands-on. Josh Whedon, amazing Flash. Cyborg is very good. Aquaman is awesome. Bruce Wayne, you'll see more in the spoilers. He is very different. He's older. He's more timid. He's not the same Batman we know that murders. I mean, you know, that kills people and beats the shit out of people and has no emotion. And he's just, I'm Batman. I'm serious all the time. This Batman's much different. He's much more sentimental, and it just feels very weird. But we'll get into more of it later on in the spoilers. There's other characters that show up as well. I don't want to give it away in the first half because, you know, it wasn't announced in the trailer, so it is a spoiler. But that being said, I think it worked very well. The whole Spider-Man 3 syndrome of, did they cast too many people? Is there too much going on in the movie? I don't think that really happened. I think Aquaman had a good dynamic character development. I think that obviously the Flash did, and so did Cyborg. Actually, very, very good. However, Batman and Wonder Woman's thing, I felt like it was just thrown in there, and even with the character development, you could tell that it was rushed because the movie was very short. It almost felt unfinished, and it was. I don't know if you guys know this, but it was actually cut by the WB wanted the movie to be shorter than the previous movies, which was, you know, it was before it was like 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes. Well, this one was 2 hours. So, and you can tell, kind of. But that being said, that's just my opinion. I thought it was pretty good, and I could be wrong, but if you want my opinion, you're asking for it, obviously, if you're clicking on this video. That's how I felt about it. So go ahead and check it out. If you're if you're a DC fan, I think you will enjoy it. It is worth the money. It is worth going out and seeing it. But that's up for you to decide ultimately. My final rating, I would give it a 3.75 out of 5. That's how my ratings work. They're out of 5. If you want to see a more detailed explanation of my ratings and my rating system, check me out on Letterboxd. I'll link that in the description below. Alright, let's get into the spoilers. Let's move this logo over here, over to the right side, over here. Okay, I went ahead and moved the logo there for you. We are into the spoilers. Superman's back, bitches. Motherfucker's back from the dead. Yeah. Hell yeah. So, Superman is back, and he's better than ever. He comes back evil as a motherfucker, though. He comes out weird, and he's trying to kill the Justice League. I don't really understand why that was. I guess he didn't really remember dying, but it was cool. Because he's back, and I like the whole evil Superman thing. I thought that was pretty cool. But anyways, he's back, and I love that about it. He came back from the dead. We see the whole Superman resurrection. This does push the agenda of Zack Snyder. Batman, well, Man of Steel, we see the whole Superman takes care of his mom and Krypton and this and that and his dad. And then you see Batman vs. Superman. Oh, Superman dies. This is really a movie about Doomsday. Not really about Batman vs. Superman. Zack Snyder is pioneering or commandeering this story, this narrative, to tell a story about Superman. And once again, the Justice League is all about Superman. Why? If it's Batman vs. Superman, make it about Batman vs. Superman. If it's the Justice League, make it about Justice League. I have an issue with that, okay? I do. I'm sorry. Make it its own movie. But in this case, it worked well. This one time, I think it was almost acceptable. Well, because almost it was unavoidable. Because Superman was dead anyway. So, you know, you can't really make a movie without him if it's called the Justice League. So I guess I'll forgive you on that one, Zach, but it's because of your past mistakes. This movie does have flaws, though, because of it. Because of the past mistakes that you made. Okay? So, even that being said, I think it kind of worked well. And I kind of enjoyed it. And, it was cool to see all the Justice League reunited. Even when Superman was evil, they reunite. Steppenwolf, not a huge fan of that villain, although I did like the scenes of the gods fighting and stuff. I thought he was kind of like forced or rushed into there a little bit. I didn't really quite grasp the reason they were fighting. I know that the world turned evil and that the gods were fighting, and then, you know, those creatures with wings and all the angels and demons and whatever, the gods, Zeus, Thor, were fighting. I got that part, but somehow the Justice League returns. They resurrect Superman through the energy box with the Flash and everything. They fight Darkseid and they fight Steppenwolf, and everything's fine somehow, miraculously. I don't quite get that narrative. I don't know. Steppenwolf was just a little out of place, but overall I understand it. I think it was a really cool fight of good and evil that they put, you know, together to make that happen. So I enjoyed it. Batman, Bruce Wayne, his character is a little strange. I don't really know why he was so much of a prick to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman tells him he needs to move on after Superman's death, and he just says, you know, screw you, your boyfriend's dead, Steve Trevor's dead. Well, that's not really cool, Batman. I understand that you did that because you're trying to get her to see how hard it was to move on, or how hard it is. Wonder Woman is not just a hero, she's an inspiration. She doesn't just save the world, she brings people to new heights for themselves by inspiring them to do more. And that was a pretty cool little segment there, directed by Zack Snyder, even though you're a prick, Batman. So overall I thought the movie was good. They meshed well together. The spoilers are a little weird. Zack Snyder's Snyderverse is hopefully over, and I'm glad about that. So we will see how that goes in the future with DC's movies and how this will pan out in the realm of the DC universe. But I don't want you guys to get the impression that I hate the movie. I thought it was okay. 3.75 it's like a 7 out of 10. It's a passing grade. It's okay. It definitely has flaws. It could be better, but it's okay. And that's just one man's opinion. I could be wrong, and I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Love all you guys to death. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. Twitter and Instagram links are in the description. Oh yeah, one more thing. Got my headless t-shirt on. Those of you who know what that is, I'm a huge Scott Shermer fan. Check his work out too. I'm a movie guy. You know that about me. I'm interested in film and whatnot. But Headless, one of my favorite horror movies. I got the t-shirt in the mail recently, so I decided to wear it in this. I could have CGI'd Cyborg's costume onto myself. Maybe I'd be a Superman. Maybe I should throw Superman's cape on me. Maybe I'll do that for a gift. Alright guys. Love ya. Don't forget, keep it Duffy.